64, and it pushes the Rockies back out front. Todd drives one high and deep right field. Take a good look, you won't see it for long. How about another three-run jack? He may not be ready at 40 to settle into the easy chair. Not just yet. Saturday night in lower downtown Denver, and for those filing in, they may see something very special tonight as the Rockies getting ready to take on the Reds. Last night it was all Todd Helton as the Rockies were led by the 40-year-old. 2 3-run home runs, 6 RBIs, matching a career high. What does he have in store for us this evening? And with that, we welcome you upstairs with my partner, George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Last night, one of those unforgettable nights at the ballpark.
It was. I mean, you start to look back and watch his career grow, and I've been here with Drew the whole time through this 17 years of watching him play baseball. And to see it continue to get better, and then you watch him have all the injuries and not be able to get through things and not be the same guy. And then last night, he was that guy from a long time ago, and it was exciting to watch.
Well, when you hang out a long time, and you're as good as he is, by the way, you start creeping up the charts on virtually every offensive chart that's worth something. Look at the ranks. 2499 in hits. He could get 2,500 tonight. He is in the lineup. 583 doubles. You kidding me? There's only 16 guys that have more doubles in the history of the game. 76th in home runs now with 365. The RBIs, the walks, amazing.
Well, you don't even think about it. As you look through all of these things, there's been so much focus on 2,500 hits, just 7 shy of 1,400 RBIs. And Drew mentioned 17,924 guys have put on a Major League uniform. And there's the ranks, and you think about what Todd has been able to accomplish as a player. It's been special, and all of you here in Colorado in this viewing area and the people at the ballpark, you've watched a very, very good baseball player for a long time.
Well, it was a goosebump moment last night for us up here, for folks at home, and for the folks that bought tickets last night, because they stood in that final at bat. They gave him a standing ovation when he arrived, and even though he punched out with 2 men on, he was going for that third 3-run home run, they gave him an even larger standing ovation as he returned to the dugout. We'll continue our conversation about Todd Helton when we come back and get you ready for first pitch tonight. Rockies and Reds. back on August 2nd, 1997 with a single off Francisco Cordova. His 100th hit came the following year in the form of a home run off the Padres' Andy Ashby. 2 years later, Todd Helton reached the 500 hit mark against the A's pitcher Mark Mulder. In 03, he collected hit number 1,000 against Joe Borowski and the Chicago Cubs at Coors Field. And in 2009 in Atlanta, facing the Braves' Jair Jurgens, Helton joined the 2,000 hit club. And tonight, perhaps number 2,500. He sits just one knock away. And back upstairs. Last night, you could tell after the ball game, Tracy Ringlesby interviewed him, and you could tell, as much as he does not like talking about himself and adulation, it meant something to him, the performance he had yesterday.
The performance and what the fans did for him here in Colorado yesterday with a long-standing ovation, I think that touched him. I mean, and the first time you kind of see him get a little emotional about what he's been able to accomplish here in one uniform, and to be very proud of that fact. But yesterday, I think it got to him a little bit.
It did, and here's a little snippet of what he had to say in the aftermath.
You know, that's probably the thing I'm most proud of, is being here my whole career. You know, the fans have been great to me. You know, it's been a great ride, and you know, when it's all said and done, I look back. You know, I'll probably have accomplished more than I ever thought 16 years ago when I broke into the game.
So tonight, he sits back and he looks outside, and there's got to be a part of him. He does have that sentimental part. He doesn't show it often, but it's going to be rearing its head a little bit more and more as we count down the days.
Yeah, watch a little bit of focus. I don't care if Sandy Koufax was on the mound tonight. Watch him lock in a little bit here. He wants to get this out of the way and get it out of the way early.
You bet he does. And hopefully he'll be able to lead the Rockies to another victory. It's Colorado. It's Cincinnati. Todd Helton vying for number 2,500. Come on back to Coors Field and enjoy it with us. On Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Todd Helton and the the Rockies taking the field. Prado has enjoyed that. It's a short little jog from the first base line dugout to his spot. Get to sign an autograph. And I wonder if that little man realizes just how special that autograph will always be. Shin-Soo Choo will lead things off for Cincinnati. He's been among the top 2 or 3 leadoff men in the game this year. He's got 17 home runs, so you can't throw him cookies. Here's the rest of Dusty Baker's lineup on a Saturday evening. Brandon Phillips, who drove in 2 last night, will be in the 2-hole. He's got 97 ribbies. Joey Votto, Jay Bruce, who's leading the National League in extra base hits. Ryan Ludwig, Todd Frazier, Devin Mesoraco, Zach Cozart, and the former Rocky Greg Reynolds. And on the hill, Juan Nicasio. And George, he keeps throwing better and better. I thought he had maybe the best stuff of his career in his last outing.
9 strikeouts in that ball game against San Francisco. 6 innings, 4 hits, and threw a shutout for those 6 innings. The month of August, 2-1 for 3.25 earned run average so far. The arsenal, the fastball, velocity's dropped, but it's got more movement now. That hard sinker, the good slider was really good the other day. He threw it almost 19% of the time in the changeup, but he'll live on the fastball more than any other pitch.
So we are ready to go, and we are sure you are as well. Juan Nicasio to Shin-Soo Choo. Choo swung at the first pitch of the ball game last night. He'll do that. I mentioned the 17 home runs. He has the highest on-base percentage of any leadoff hitter in the game, and the most home runs. Former Cleveland Indian takes outside. 2-seam fastball missed. It's ball 1. Kind of overcast. It's in the low 80s.
Very good night to pitch right here. You got a little bit of humidity. You could get some movement on the fastball. You get quick outs. Those strikes to begin with. 2-0 count. Another fastball. He'll miss for 3-0.
Casio's been particularly good at home. 4-1 with a 356 this year. And he missed there. So 4 pitches out of the zone. And a walk to Choo. Rockies defensively are brought to you by Excel Energy. We bring you the energy you need so you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Corey Dickerson is in left field tonight. He's in center yesterday. Charlie Blackmon for Dexter Fowler. Still Gimpy. Michael Kadires had 2 full days off. The day off everybody had, and then yesterday he was given the day off. Rosario's catching Nicasio. Johnny Herrera for LeMahieu at second.
Well, you got to watch Choo. 16 stolen bases. He's been caught 10 times.
And still not a strike. Home plate umpires Adrian Johnson. Brian Onora, Fielding Colbreth, and Jordan Baker first through third.
When you're struggling for the strike zone, close play. Todd giving a look back at Brian Onora. Quick snap throw over the hand. You can't see it. Probably got on the base right as Todd tagged him on the shoulder. What you can't do as a pitcher, you got to continue to pitch your ball game, even though you're throwing 5 straight balls. If you feel like you could have that slider for a strike right now, then go to it. Because a lot of times, even though Nicasio's had great success, he's pitched well, you can correct your arm slot and find the fastball command off of the slider.
And the Bronx cheer. Going in there. One, and it's 2-1. Rockies won 9-6 yesterday. It was 9-3. Jeff Francis gave up a couple of tough hits in that 9th inning.
Boy, did he ever.
A couple of bleeders, but give Cincinnati credit. They rallied for 3 runs. This ball is well hit left center field, and laying out and missing the catch is Blackman, and Chu's going to be able to score easily. And heading to third is Phillips. He'll have a triple. Phillips with his 98th RBI, and it's 1-0 Reds.
Well, you really make it hard on yourself when the only pitch you're getting over and not doing a good job of that is the fastball. Eight pitches, 6 balls, 2 strikes, all fastballs, and this ball right out over the middle of the plate. Charlie, I thought, did the right thing here. If he can make a catch on it, dive, catch it, you can keep the runner at first base. Otherwise, it's going to be a double no matter what. You didn't think it'd be a triple. The run's probably going to score with the ball in the deepest part of the ballpark.
Only Paul Goldschmidt has more ribbies than Brandon Phillips. Doesn't matter whether he's hitting fourth, as he has most of this year, in the absence of Ryan Ludwig, or second. Rosario finally calls timeout. He's got to go to the mound. 7 out of 9 out of the strike zone for Nicasio.
And this is a guy that typically has very, very good fastball command. Going to the windup, a little unusual with nobody out, but a 3-hole hitter, they're not going to lay down a squeeze. So if you're a little more comfortable out of that windup than you are out of the stretch position, then go to it. There's hunting outs right now.
And it's 2-1. To get the run home. Tulowitzki's got it. Joey Votto makes it 2-0 with his 62nd RBI. So the Reds off to a fast start. Rockies fans, text Toyota followed by your questions to 720-720 and watch as they are answered during the 5th inning of every game. 1 out, nobody on. Jay Bruce. The Pirates doing it again, as that's a base hit, doing it again to the Cardinals, who are up 6-1. Dyer fires it back in. A walk, a triple, a single now in the inning for Cincinnati. And the Pirates made news today. They traded for former American League MVP Justin Morneau for the young outfielder Alex Presley, and a player to be named later, or potentially cash. Morneau's dealt with concussion issues the last couple of years, hitting .259, 7 home runs, though he's driven in 74. Not the same player he was, but it's a big name player, and because they acquired him prior to the end of this month, he is eligible to play in the postseason with his new club. So they went out and got Marlon Byrd, George, the other day, and now they have Justin Morneau.
Well, they got a backup catcher in Buck too.
Yep.
You know, they went and improved their ball club in a lot of avenues they needed to do it with. Morneau is going to be a good pickup.
And it's 2-0 right now on Ludwig. Juan struggling out of the gate. It's 3-0. Jim Wright's probably good.
You got to get him under control a little bit mentally, I think, more than anything. You know, that trade with Morneau, we showed 7 home runs. He has 17.
Yes, I thought the 7 was low. He's got 17.
17 home runs, 74 RBIs right now.
And a 3-1 pitch drilled to center field. behind big league hitters, you're going to get hit hard typically.
Well, when you haven't shown a slider for a strike, you haven't shown a fastball for a strike, and you're fighting yourself on your mound a little bit. You know, Jimmy Wright's got to go back out and look for it. But the last start, 6 innings, 4 hits, no run, with mixing the 9 strikeouts. Everything he had that night, changeup, fastball, slider, it all worked. He had very good command of the fastball. And he threw that back foot slider to a lot of left-handed hitters and got a lot of strikeouts on it. They had not seen that type of slider from Juan Nicasio in any of his starts. Different attitude, different body language than what we're seeing here in the first inning. Boston Red Sox have acquired John McDonald, a utility infielder from the Phillies.
Yeah, John really not getting any playing time with Philadelphia. We just saw him last week.
By the way, Tulsa found out last night its opponent will be the Arkansas Travelers, the minor league affiliate of the Anaheim Angels, for the first round of the playoffs. It starts on the 4th when the season ends in Tulsa.
One and one on the former Rutgers star Todd Frazier with 2 on, 2 runs already in here for the Reds. You don't get any borderline pitches when you've been all over the place, so it's 2 and 1. Tonight is Juan's 50th career start. That was almost a balk, George. See that? He didn't pause.
You're right. It
Two and two. Deep short. Troy, nice pickup. There's one. Johnny to first. Exactly what the Rockies needed, but 2 runs in the inning off of Nicasio for Cincinnati. A couple of runs on 3 hits. So we'll go and see the Rockies on offense. Todd Helton sitting on 24.99. for the Rockies. He did that last night. He had triple, in fact, in his first at bat of the night. He'll be followed in this manner by Walt Weiss tonight. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Johnny Herrera will bat second, and then it's Tulowitzki, Kadire, and Helt. Kadire's the only guy that's ever faced Greg Reynolds in a real game. Willeen Rosario, Nolan Arenado, Charlie Blackmon, Nicasio. Willeen had 4 hits last night. That matches his career high. He is on fire. 625 over his last 4 games. The reason I said he's the only guy that's faced Greg Reynolds in a game, most of the Rockies have been around for a while. Guys like Helton have seen him in spring training and stood in against him.
Different guy right now. He's a guy that has implemented the slow curveball. With Parker being traded over to Cincinnati, I had a chance to talk to some people. You'll see the repertoire of what he has to offer here with the fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup. Greg, this spring, started to throw the slow curveball, which he had abandoned for about 4 or 5 years. So when he talked in that interview with Tracy Ringlesby about reinventing himself, he reinvented everything he had. From the hard sinker, 88 to 91 miles an hour, changeup, slow curve.
Yeah, he's never pitched with the big arm he had at Stanford.
Well, he did. You know what? Let me help you on one deal. I saw him at Tulsa in a start right after he'd signed, and he was 90-94 with a heavy sink. He started the year, I think, 5-1, 5-2 with a very low earned run average, like 138, and then the shoulder hit, then the elbow, then it was one thing after the other.
Well, good for him to get back to the big leagues. It's been a long time for Greg, and that's in there. It's 2-1. This is his 3rd start of the year for Cincinnati.
Well, and that's after going 12-3 with a 242 in AAA. He earned what he's getting right now. It wasn't handed to him. And if you sit down with Greg Reynolds and you talk to him, there's probably not another person on the face of the earth that's more disappointed than what he was of what happened here in Colorado, being the 2nd pick in the draft, being a 1st-round draft pick of the Rockies. He wanted success here. It just didn't happen.
He's not the only high pick in the history of the draft not to have things go their way, at least initially. And he was traded to Texas in January of last year for Chad Tracy, Jim's son. 1 out. Johnny Herrera at the plate. Johnny's hitting .276. In center field for Chu. 2 outs, nobody on. Tulowitzki coming up. Time for our Excel Energy look at the defensive alignment of the Reds. Excel Energy, make the choices that fit your life, and Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Frazier, Cozart, Phillips, and Votto in the infield. It's Ludwig, Chu, and Bruce in the outfield. Devin Mesoraco, the only change from last night, as Hannigan did the catching yesterday. Chu had a good ball game last night. Who didn't? When you have 19 hits, everybody's involved. Troy had 3 hits, 3 for 4, and a walk. The only time they got him out was a line shot to center field.
I'm watching more and more teams want to take the running fastball and sink it to the outside corner on Troy. They're trying to minimize the power, stay away from that middle half end. They'll give up the single, the double, the right field. They're just trying not to give up the home run. If they come in, typically it's above the hands and a lot harder.
Been a solid month for Tulowitzki, and he has tremendous numbers in his career against the Cincinnati Reds. 373 lifetime average against the Reds. Reds are up 2-0. We're in the 1st inning, 2 outs, nobody on, and that pitch misses in, ball 2. If you want tacos, you get them when the Rockies score 7 or more. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get the Rockies taco special. Tried to bring it back on the outside corner. The pitch you described, George, he missed.
Yep, right on that outside corner, trying to get him to swing out over the top of it.
Troy bounces this up the middle and out at first base. Good play by Cozart. Troy thought he beat it. Cozart made the throw, and it's a 1-2-3 start for Greg Reynolds. All right, outer safe. Safe. Hatcher will lead things off in the second. Todd Helton will come up next inning in search of career hit number 2,500. Juan Nicasio looking for a much better second inning. He had trouble finding the strike zone in inning number 1. 25 pitches in that first inning.
Way too many for him. I mean, typically a guy that's around the zone with everything. He'll start it out strike one, a lot different than the first inning. Two and one. Sharply hit. Nice pickup. Arenado set the feet. Long throw. Out by 3 steps. A lot of third basemen, they have range one way or the other, glove side or arm side. Nolan has displayed he has it to both sides. Very quick feet, quick first step, reaction to the baseball, and then a very strong arm across to Todd.
Zach Cozart at the plate. Oh, 0-2. Cozart 7 for his last 16 at the plate. He's been swinging it well. Slider misses. 1-2. He has the distinction of leading the National League in sacrifice flies. Also gets a lot of sac bunts down. So Dusty Baker says this is a good situational guy, and he's in that situational spot in the order, hitting 8th. Takes a special guy to hit second or 8th. Here's the 2-2, and he got it. High heat at 94. That had some finish to it. First strikeout of the night for Nicasio. Auto glass damage, call Safelite Auto Glass. The phone number's 303-287-5000 or go online to safelite.com. And with that, Greg Reynolds will come up hunting his first hit of the year. George mentioned he was doing very well in the International League. He was 12-3 for Louisville this year with a 2.42 ERA. He had 3 complete games at Louisville.
And actually was the winning pitcher in the AAA All-Star game between the International League and the Pacific Coast League.
He was second in the International League in wins with those 12, and that 2.42 ERA, that was second best as well. And a 3-0 count on Greg Reynolds. Pirates now up 7-1 in the 4th inning on the Cardinals.
A.J. Burnett making the start for the Pirates.
Three and 2. Pretty good hack there by Reynolds. Another 3-2, and that's at least past Billy Hatcher at first. Russell Martin homered last night. He's homered again tonight for Pittsburgh in that game. Strike 3 on the outside corner. 1-2-3 second inning for Juan Nicasio. Rockies trailing 2-0. Todd Helton will bat second in the inning.
For the Rockies as we head to the bottom of the second. It'll be Todd Helton due up second. Well, if you need some perspective of what it would mean to get 2,500 hits in your career, you might just want to talk to Vinny Castilla. The guy played 16 years of Major League Baseball, and he only had just shy of 1,900 hits, 320 home runs in that time. He knows how special this moment is for his former teammate.
you can see the fans, man, how much Todd Helton means to this franchise, to these fans, to his teammates, and my skin kind of get like some chills because that was an unbelievable feeling. I mean, for me, I mean, I've been with Todd for a long time since he was a rookie, and that was a great moment. Everybody wants to get that big hit, to the 2,500, but just 2 home runs. I mean, the fans. I mean, you just can tell how much it means Todd Helton for this franchise.
Well, I asked Vinny where he would be watching when Todd Helton goes up to bat today. He said, I'll be at the top of the dugout steps. I could not miss when my buddy and my former teammate gets that big hit. 2,500. Guys?
All right, Jenny, thanks very much. And that's a base hit from Michael Kadire. So the Rockies had their first knock against Greg Reynolds, and here comes number 17. And let's listen to the crowd as he's announced. We showed up near the suite. Todd's family, his wife Christy in the middle. And Helton takes a strike. 0-1 on Todd last night. 2 3-run homers. Just the second time in his career he's produced a 6 RBI game, which is kind of amazing for a guy closing in on 1,400 RBIs. Has been as great as he is that there wasn't one 7 or 8 RBI night. 0-1. This is starting the same way that last at bat started.
Obviously, Adrian Johnson doesn't understand what's going on here.
Well, last night Todd fell behind 0-2.
Right.
In that final at bat, and he worked it to 3-2 against Zach Duke and struck out on a fastball. He's got him right where he wants him. So that was close. 1-2.
Todd swinging about well at this homestand. Those 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Of course, a couple of that, 6 all coming in one ball game. But he scored 4 runs to go along with the 8 RBIs.
Kadire leads off first. Second inning, 2-0 Cincinnati. 1-2 on Helton, sitting on 24-99. In terms of hits in his illustrious career.
Well, from the looks of things, Reds catcher set up away. Now all of a sudden started to come inside. See if he goes inside on Helton again. Looking for the signs on as far as throwing. Throw that hard sinker. Rotate to that inner half of the plate.
He came in 2-2. Helton drives it high and deep left center field. Chu going back will get there. Todd gave it a ride. Kadire will return to first off the bat. I thought that thing may have a chance.
Well, you got a little bit of wind coming up that left field line too that could have knocked it down a little bit. I think that's what happened to the ball. Helton just got under it enough to carry it up into the air to allow Chu to run under it. On a Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, a changeup out of the hand of Greg Reynolds. Todd stayed right on it, recognized it out of the hand and drove it good, but just into the glove of Chu in left center. With them having the ability to take batting practice last night, Chu and Ludwig both misplayed some balls in the outfield. Tonight they had batting practice. They had time to shag and catch flights.
Here's Rosario. He had the 4-hit night yesterday. Rockies in their last 2 games against the Reds. The final game in Cincinnati when they hit 6 home runs. And then last night, 39 hits, 20 in Cincinnati and 19 yesterday. Wow. It's pretty good. Keep a pitching coach up at nights.
Everybody aware Kadire can run. 9 stolen bases, been caught twice. A lot of those coming in the first half of the season.
And Rosario pulls it through the left side, base hit. Kadire will stop at second, will lean with yet another knock. And that 294 average will ease up a little bit more. 2 on for Arenado. Attention college students, faculty and staff, get a 2-for-1 annual ski pass good at Winter Park and Copper Mountain just by opening a new Wells Fargo checking package. See details at wellsfargo.com/ski pass. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Nolan Arenado last night, 2 for 5, scored a run. Strike count on Arenado. 6'7" Greg Reynolds. He, along with Tim Lincecum, big headliners in the Pac-12 on the mound in 2006. Brandon Morrow was he a Cal? Was Morrow a Cal, George?
I believe he was, and he was part of that big arms, as you like to talk about, and that grouping of guys there. Well, Clayton Kershaw turned out pretty good himself. Kershaw will be pitching here at Coors Field this week.
1-1 on Nolan. And bounce to Votto. And they're still going to turn it over. Reynolds got over there. 3-6-1 on the double play. So the Rockies get a couple of hits, nothing else. 2-0 Cincinnati off to inning number 3 at Coors Field. Cincinnati. Here's our AT&T trivia question. Todd Helton has something to do with it. of the 815 different pitchers Helton has a hit against, how many of them won a Cy Young Award? Shin-Soo Choo walked on 4 pitches leading off the ball game, and he would score a moment later when Brandon Phillips tripled on a 3-1 pitch. And the fastball swung through by Choo. There, 1-2. Rockies 3-1 against the Reds so far this year. Trying to straighten out the command issues. It looks like, though, he did fall behind Reynolds 3-0, and then he figured it out. Just off the plate. Choo makes his home in Arizona now. Born in Busan. He was 95 on the mound as a kid, George. Wow. How about that? 3-2. And he signed with the Seattle Mariners right out of high school. He was not one of these young men from the Far East that played professionally in the Far East. He signed right out of high school. Long run for Dickerson. He's going to get there. Nice play by Porter.
Well, bike to the ball game on Sunday, and you can win prizes. Get more information and ticket specials at Rockies.com/green.
And with 1 out, that'll bring up Brandon Phillips. Brandon with that triple to drive in another run. He's got 98 RBIs. And for Phillips, it was his 2nd triple of the year. This is well hit right center field and out of here. So Phillips makes it 3-0 on his 17th home run of the year, and he's got 99 RBIs. Trying to become the first Red second baseman to have a 100 RBI season since the great Joe Morgan.
Fastball that caught the center of the plate with a little more velocity, and when it did, it jumped. It jumped in a hurry into right center field, and it always kind of been one of those wind tunnels in right center field that Gary there. You can see, look at Kadire go back on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo. He gave it a great effort. Ball about 2 feet out of the way.
Votto slices it into the crowd.
Very quickly, want to wish Aaron Schultz happy birthday. He's down in the Mountain Ranch Club having a little happy birthday today with Mom and Sis Lauren. You know, when your dad works at the ballpark all the time, Keith working as the clubhouse manager for the Rockies on the home side, that a lot of birthdays are all spent at the park if you have one in the summer months, unfortunately.
Number 13 today for Aaron.
Man, oh man, seems like yesterday he was running around the clubhouse. Go down to the house on a cookout and see a little squirt running around. Not anymore. I was trying to make Drew feel old the other day that when he first met my daughter, she was 4. She's graduating from college in May.
When I first met you, I don't think she was born yet.
No, she was not. You're absolutely right. Hayes, Kansas.
Here's the 1-2 on Votto. That's inside 2-2.
Well, last night, Votto just seemed to be frustrated at home plate. You know, that ugly swing. He just never got a good look on the baseball. I know it's just not the typical guy I've been used to seeing, although the numbers aren't bad. It's just, I mean, we've seen better numbers. He's been hurt a while.
4 straight years he's been an all-star. He's been an MVP.
Yeah, big time talent. And when you have that kind of talent and your swing's out of whack, you do get frustrated. Or you don't see the results you want to see on pitches you used to drive to the opposite field. Maybe you're quick now because you're cheating a little bit. You put it on the ground.
And he's hard on himself. He's
very hard. Wait, a little bit of Todd Helton in him.
Yeah, he's won for his last 11.
I didn't realize this. Today's Juan Nicasio's birthday also. He's 27 today.
Happy birthday, Juan. Nothing he'd rather be doing than being on the Coors Field mound.
There's Melinda. Here's Melinda.
Yeah.
There's
There's Lauren.
Everybody's out there. Look on the TV. Come on, Melinda. Look up. We're talking about. Oh, she's on TV. She's going to see it right now. On TV.
Aaron looks full. Change up when he strikes him out. Aaron had that look of, man, I think I ate too much.
Yeah, I think so. And Melinda keeps looking at the TV, texting Keith, going, "What are you guys doing?" Oh, we're on TV. Wave, Aaron. Anna, baby! I knew I could get you. Yeah.
Happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, happy birthday, man. Here, wait a minute. 13. We'll do it like this. Happy. I'll write it real quick. Happy birthday. How's that? There you go.
Just said George must have wrote that.
George had to write that, or a doctor, one of the two. You know, I never figured that out. They get this prescription, you go in there, and how do the pharmacists read that? They do. They're pretty good at it. Yeah, keep waving. You bet.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jay Bruce. And a bouncing ball to second. Johnny's got it. He's got a leap to throw and gets it to help. Another good inning for Juan Nicasio. Saved the long ball by Brandon Phillips to make it 3-0. rally here in the bottom of the third. AT&T trivia question: of the 815 different pitchers that Helton has gotten a knock against, how many of them have won a Cy Young award? The answer: 19 Cy Young winners.
Can you name them all?
Probably over time.
They can.
Maddox, Webb, Lincecum, Peavy, Johnson, Glavine, Smoltz, Kershaw, Hershiser, Gagne, Zito, Carpenter, Greinke, Pat Henkin, Clemens, Colon, Holiday, Santana, and Sabathia. How did I do?
Good. How about Pat Henkin? Throw that name out. I hadn't heard that in a while. He's pretty good.
Former J. Charlie Blackmon and then Juan Nicasio here against Greg Reynolds. He's had a couple of hits last inning, couldn't produce a run. One and one on Charlie.
And if you're at home watching and wonder in your mind what Greg Reynolds might be going through, well, it's difficult when you get here, you see the first day, you walk out to the bullpen to make the start. But once the ball gets put in play and you get through that first inning, you know, you might have hung out, played golf with Charlie Blackmon. But it's now it's all business. You're going to work your way through this game.
Charlie Blackmon was talking earlier about his teammate at first base, Todd Helton.
That's a lot of hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got like 1/100th of what he's got, and he's just been able to do it for so long in the whole career and be so successful. It's just it's special for me to be here and be able to watch.
He's inching closer. See if he can catch him by the end of the night. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. But he'll get closer. I will say this: Charlie has swung the bat really well since coming back up. 279 now.
He had
after
3
that
hits.
base hit.
Yeah, 3 hits last night.
Just take that sinker down and away from him. Didn't try to do more than just slice it off the back part of the bat instead of trying to pull that thing on the ground. What Greg Reynolds was trying to get him to do on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You can really see Charlie's angle of the bat, the delivery of the bat through the zone, and the result's good.
Sneaky play. Votto crashed hard and Phillips snuck in from behind. Where a first base coach helps out. Greg Reynolds, we were talking about that 06 draft. It was pitching rich. Luke Hochevar from Fowler, Colorado, went #1 of the Royals. Longoria is the other guy the Rockies were stewing over, whether it was going to be Reynolds or Longoria. And clearly, as we all know, Longoria's had a tremendous career with Tampa. Clayton Kershaw went 7th in the draft. Tim Lincecum, he had the 2 Cy Young awards, went 10th to the Giants. And Max Scherzer, who probably is going to win a Cy Young this year in the American League, went 11th to the Diamondbacks. Drew Stubbs of the Reds now with Cleveland, and he was traded for Shin-Soo Choo. Talented draft.
Think Frazier can get any closer? I mean, that reminds me of Pete Rose when he used to play third base on AstroTurf. He'd come creeping in. He would be more than 10-15 feet away. And Frazier was all the way right up here in that area. See if he comes in there again. Going to, isn't he?
Votto's going to wheel and throw to second. Did he come off the bag? Safe at second base. Cozart came off the bag. Brandon Phillips is going to go argue with Field and Colbreth. And here comes Dusty. Phillips is saying it was on the transfer. You can tell by his pantomime.
Dusty's probably saying, watch this play 1,000 times. You've seen the same thing I have. Puts back on the bag. It did come out on the transfer. He missed it out of his hand. Tell you what, he missed it on the hand. You're going to see it right here. A good break for the Rockies. Catches it. He is out. And he's getting ready to pull it out of the glove, out of the transfer. The ball drops out of the backside of the glove.
Well, take advantage of the break. Giving an error to Cozart.
And Brandon Phillips still having a little bit of a conversation with him.
Corey Dickerson at the plate. Corey bounced to second his first time up. He got jammed by Greg Reynolds. 2 on and nobody out. Corey's hit .292 against righties. Good 90 at bats against right-handed pitchers now. Definitely getting his feet wet in the big leagues. And that's grabbed by Reynolds. Wow. That was headed up the middle, and another double play turned behind Greg Reynolds. Last inning, the Rockies had 2 on with 1 out. Arenado bounced into an inning-ending double play. And now they're 2 outs and a runner at third after this 1-6-3 DP.
I tell you, Reynolds pretty happy with himself, too. Able to catch this ball, hit very hard, right back up the middle. He spins, fires a perfect throw down to Cozart. Cozart on the bag, and then the throw down to Votto to complete it.
Johnny Herrera with 2 outs. Johnny hit a fly ball to center field his first time.
Johnny didn't like it. I'm a little guy, and it's the top end of the strike zone.
I don't blame him for not liking that. Here's the 1-1. Greg Reynolds, obviously, like anybody, wants to do well. There's added incentive for him. Pitching against the club he was drafted by. This is bounced foul. Remember the first time we saw him, George, in spring training in Tucson? He was extremely polished.
Very polished. Command the strike zone, repeated everything the way you're supposed to. I mean, it was all good. Got invited to big league camp right out of the chute and pitched well.
Ground ball to Votto, and he's going to flip to Reynolds. So the Rockies had 2 on, nobody out, and again failed to score. So it's 3-0 Cincinnati as we go to the 4th. is Mountain West football here on Root Sports. Next Saturday, tune in 2 p.m. as the Wyoming Cowboys will host the Vandals of Idaho in the first home game of the season for the Pokes. It's the best in Mountain West football right here on Root Sports.
Today, Air Force took care of business on Root Sports.
Beat Colgate.
Yeah, 38-10.
They lost their quarterback, though, for I don't know for how long, but he had a knee injury. I saw that. Ludwig singled his first time up. Ludwig's been frustrated with his slow start. And the minute I say that, he's got himself another hit. Dickerson grabs with the bare hand, trying to hold him to a single, and he will. Good job by Corey. And Dusty had to sit him down. He said, listen, you missed over 4 months. This is really early March for you. And the other thing that Dusty's excited about is typically he's kind of a slow starter. So, and this is the positive thinking of Dusty Baker. He said he's going to start to get rolling toward the end of September, just when we need it.
Right when I want you. Dusty is very positive with his players, I can tell you that.
1,656 wins for Johnny Baker. Ground ball to second. Don't know if it's hit hard enough for 2. In fact, you're not going to get Ludwig. Johnny looked over there, and he's got to go to Todd. So Ludwig in scoring position. Frazier's out. 1 gone. The 1,656 wins for Dusty is 16th all time. Think of the work with San Francisco, with Chicago, and now in Cincinnati. And you know, if they win the division, if they come from behind, it's not like they're eons out. I mean, they're right there with the Pirates and the Cardinals. It'd be their 3rd division in the last 4 years. Tough play, Tulowitzki. Todd's got him on the other end. Great pickup by 17. Tulo, sparkling leather play.
Nolan got Mesoraco the first time. Now Tulowitzki gets him the second time on a ball over into the hole at shortstop. Going to backhand and get into the air, and then a strong throw over. Oh, how many times you seen this? A nice pick by 17. This will give you a great look at it. That ball takes flight over it, and Helton strides to where the baseball's going, but he strides late. See it on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. He just makes it look so easy.
Cozart at the plate. Rockies will pass on him and face Greg Reynolds. So Cozart to first, and with 2 outs, Greg Reynolds will come up. Tonight's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Todd Helton's first big league game, or first big league hit, came in his first game, actually, August 2nd, 1997. It was off of Pirate starter Francisco Cordova. He would also hit his first major league home run that day, a solo shot off Mark Wilkins. A foreshadowing of great things to come. Reynolds struck out looking on a 3-2 fastball his first time up. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Reynolds. Good hat by Reynolds.
Pretty good swing there. MLB.com at bat is celebrating 5 years as your #1 mobile app for live baseball. Available for the iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Rockies baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, and highlights and more.
.75 pitches, too many here with 2 outs in the 4th inning. It's amazing in ball games that Juan Nicasio is able to go 6 innings. He's been terrific. 22 times that's happened in his career. He's 11-2 with a 2.19 ERA.
Last week pretty good. I mean, the last 3 starts, I should say, pretty good. 2-0, 153, what Drew's talking about. The opponents have not hit the ball very well off of it.
Left field, right at Corey Dickerson. That'll end the inning. There was a hit and an intentional walk. Middle of 4, it's 3-0 Cincinnati. Rockies next inning will have Tulowitzki, Kadire, and Melvin. The middle of their lineup against Greg Reynolds. They have 3 hits off of Reynolds, all singles. Rockies fans, the Ultimate Fan in Colorado contest ends today. Go vote for your favorite fan photos on the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM. Then click on the Ultimate Fan tab. That is a big Rockies purple poncho.
Somebody talked her into saying there might be a little rain tonight. You better get a poncho. Or she just said, Dad, that's one thing I haven't bought yet at the dugout store. Could you get me that, please?
Tulowitzki will lead things off. He grounded to short his first time. Greg Reynolds done a good job of inducing ground balls.
That's what he did at the and when he's in the international league, kept the ball on the ground, averaged 9 ground ball outs per start there. He's doing a little bit of the same thing. Turning double plays with traffic, working out of jams. Troy Tulowitzki was on third base last night, and Todd Helton came up with an opportunity to hit his third 3-run home run. Hear what was going through Tulo's mind.
I was on third base when he was going for it, and I was like a fan. I didn't have to get a big lead right there. I'm going to score if he gets a hit. I was kind of just sitting back watching instead of being a base runner, really.
Kind of like all of us. A little different vantage point, though. 1-1's fouled off.
Want this ball down. I wanted it away from Tulowitzki. Put up in the air a little bit on a curveball at 75 miles an hour, shooting 79. Just didn't have the proper location for Reynolds. Tulowitzki almost had an opportunity to smack it.
This one's popped up, playable. Votto and Phillips. It'll be Votto. Auto glass damage, call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. With one out, Michael Kadire, who singled his first time, will come up. Michael, soft single to left.
What a good year Kadire has had overall. You start to look at the home runs, the RBIs, time missed, in the middle of the pennant race, or excuse me, batting race.
Helton on deck. Here's the 1-1. 2-1. Here's Michael Kadire on his locker mate, Todd Helton.
It's cool. I mean, it takes a special person and special accomplishments to be able to do that. And he's obviously had a lot of those throughout the course of 16 years. And these fans have gotten to see a lot of special moments. And last night was just another one of those special moments.
And this is lifted to shallow center. Chu coming on. Comes under control and makes the catch. So here we go. Helton with a second and back. Todd drove a pitch to deep left center field his first time up, and Shin-Soo Choo ran it down. 254 average this year. His career average 317. Got 11 home runs now after the 2 last night. In this at bat, he comes out real aggressive. He fell behind his last 2 at bats, 0-2 last night. His final AB in the first one this evening. It's fouled off down the left field line. He's going to get out of play.
Well, instead of taking 2 strikes, he swung and he's got a 0-2 count.
Exactly. We've seen this many times that he gets worked to a 3-2 count. We'll see if Todd stays aggressive and see if Greg Reynolds stays aggressive and comes right at it.
Two. And Reynolds strikes out Helton to end the 4th inning. 3-0 Cincinnati as we go to the 5th. Miles per gallon of pure fun. Start more than a car. Ford Focus. Go further. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Reds up 3-0 on an overcast night. Lower downtown Denver. The Rockies been limited by Greg Reynolds to just 3 hits. Todd Helton's 0 for 2 tonight. Long fly ball and a strikeout. Juan Nicasio ready to go in the 5th inning. Top of Cincinnati's order. Shin-Soo Choo, Brandon Phillips, Joey Votto. 2 in the 1st against Nicasio, and he had trouble locating the strike zone, and then a solo home run by Brandon Phillips in the 3rd inning. Choo tonight, a walk and a fly ball to left. Choo's always been a very strong-minded and confident kid. Obviously tremendously gifted coming out of high school, and he has a base hit there. But he had the gumption to sign with Seattle right out of high school, when a lot of folks were telling him you got to play here in South Korea first and then try to go to the major leagues. He said, nope, I'm going to try to make it right now. And
a lot of people doubted it.
And make it he has. He's quite a player.
Can I just read his score? Let's see. Look, one more, and that's how many for you? Yeah. Do any of the players have milestones hits against the Rockies? Sure they do. Biggio's 3,000 hit against Colorado. Ricky Henderson 3,000 hit against Colorado.
Barry hit 715 against
Barry hit
the Rockies.
715 here. Frank Thomas that same day. What was it that he hit? When he hit it, when I'm trying to think. With Barry.
Barry hit 715 in San Francisco. Were you talking about another one?
Right, I'm just trying to think of other milestones that have happened against the Rockies. Somebody else got their 3,000 hit against the Rockies too.
This is pulled to left by Phillips, and it's off the top of the wall. Choo to 3rd. Phillips racing to 2nd, and he's in with a double. Well, Phillips is now a single away from the cycle. He's gone triple, home run, double. He's got all the difficult ones seemingly out of the way. Speaking of milestones that may happen against the Rockies.
Yeah, no kid. You got out in front of this on a breaking ball down and away from him. Lines at the left field. Dickerson hit the cutoff man with Tuna Whiskey. You almost want to see him go to second base with that, try to keep the double play in order if you could catch him. And that's a big if.
Nobody out. Joey Votto at the plate in the infield has to come in with the Rockies already down by 3 runs. Good speed on base. Another question, what's the most RBIs Todd has had in a game in his career? Matt and Rocky Ford. 6 last night, and he did it, what was it, 10 years ago? It was 2003, so 10 years ago. Last guy to have a decade. Snap throw to third, and diving back in was Chu. Last guy to have 10 years between producing that many RBIs in a game was Sean Dunston, old friend of yours.
Shawan Dunston. For snap throw, left-handed hitter up. It gives you such a clear shot as a catcher.
Two and one on Votto. See, when you're not going good, George, and then you look at Joey's rolling his eyes, that's a pitch he normally gets in play, and he's getting it in play with authority. Instead, they're going the wrong direction backwards.
That's what I'm talking about, the frustration on his face. You know, there's pitches he's just crushed, and now he's swinging through them over the top of them, fouling them off.
2-2. Another question, what's the biggest milestone in baseball you saw live?
Oh, man. Seen a lot of 3,000 hits. Lou Brock, Dave Whitfield.
For me, it was
no hitters.
Even though it's controversial, when Bonds hit his 715th.
Yeah. And the other thing was, I mean, for me, one of the milestones when he hit his 70th home run, I did the broadcast on national television for Fox in Houston. Last at bat against a tough left-hander, he hit it out in right center. Yeah, I mean, there's
the other one for me was, and these are one, you know, things have happened. You've seen cycles. The 2 others most notable for me, Ubaldo's no-hitter, without question. I'll never forget that in Atlanta. Brian McCann grounded to second, Clint Barmas to end it, and Craig Biggio. Base hit to right center field for his 3,000th knock, and they stopped the game. He just missed, and rightfully so. For it seemed like a good 10 minutes. Jeff Bagwell came down from upstairs.
Well, his 2 boys, which are both playing at Notre Dame now.
You know, we've seen individual, you know, unforgettable moments that weren't career milestones. When Cargo hit that walk-off in the upper deck to complete the cycle and beat the Cubs, Nicasio strikes out Joey Votto, 1 out in the 5th.
On that hard slider, the pitch he utilized last week, and he finds it here on a very good late break on it. You see it on that slow motion camera, that just a late break way out in front of it, and a good pitch and a good result.
Now the Rockies will walk Jay Bruce and try to get Ryan Ludwig to ground into a double play.
The second time they've intentionally walked a batter. They did a Cozart to get to Reynolds. Now they're going to do it to get to the right-handed hitting Ryan Ludwig. It appears to be Lopez warming up down in the bullpen for the Rockies. It is Wilton Lopez.
Please go over some of the scenarios that might be reviewed next year. Bob and Lundry.
Oh, man.
Bob, 89%. If
it's passed by the Umpires Association, the Players Association, and I expect it will be. 89% of plays will be reviewable, and there will be, for managers like Dusty Baker and Walt Weiss, they'll have, if the same proposal goes through, they'll have one time in the first 6 innings that they can ask for a review, and you retain that if you're successful, and then you'll have 2 more after that. Well, Walt Weiss is going to go get Juan Nicasio now. It's been up and down ride on his birthday for Juan Nicasio. So takes a sigh and walks off a frustrated man. But the Rockies right now are still in touch with Cincinnati. Wilton Lopez will try to keep it that way when we come back. Bases loaded in the 5th, 3-0 Reds, 1 out. In the game, Ryan Ludwig up there with 1 out and the bases loaded. You got Chu at third who singled, Phillips who doubled. At second we got a balk. Wilton Lopez, this happened to him earlier this year.
Started and stopped and then stepped off the back of the road.
And now it's a mess because the double play's not in order. Got to bring the infield in again. I don't know if I've ever seen that. A pitcher comes out and before throwing a pitch gets called for a balk.
Well, the problem was as he started to go, watch here, you're going to see it right now. Anytime you start your motion, you got to continue. So you can't do that. You just can't not do it. Anytime you do that right there, I mean, and that is a balk.
Jordan Baker, the third base umpire. And a base hit, and that's going to drive in 2. Cincinnati.
Third hit for Ludwig. He started the night at 229. His average at 275. Picked up his 5th RBI. 5th and 6th RBI. Excuse me.
And all 3 of those runs are going to be charged to Juan Nicasio.
Sinker that stayed right out over the middle of the plate, didn't have much depth to it. Ludwig just lifts it. An RBI machine when healthy.
Frazier's grounded out twice. In fact, in the first inning, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play.
Yeah, Walt took his shot to try to get the double play. When he brought Wilton in, the balk messed it all up. And then the base hit by Ludwig on top of that. Made it difficult after Walt trying to make the right decision to get the right result, keeping a 3-0 ball game. Instead, it's 6-0.
Get to another question. Who is your favorite member of the Big Red Machine? Jack from Boulder.
Johnny Bench for me, just because he was from Oklahoma, and I, going to high school, going to college at OU, and hearing his name an awful lot at that point was a favorite of mine. I mean, Tony Perez, another guy that you still see around the game.
Joe Morgan was my favorite.
Did you hit with that little twitch on your backside?
In the backyard? You bet I did. Kidding me? Who did? Frazier strikes out. That is the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Mesoraco. He's grounded out twice. I also was a big Davey Concepcion fan.
Boy, they were good.
Golly, they were good. Every position.
Foster hit 50 that year. Nobody ever thought it'd happen.
I mean, George 40 back then was almost unheard of, and he threw out 50.
50.
You back then, if you hit 30 home runs, you were one of the biggest power hitters in the game.
Buddy Bill was considered a power hitter. I don't think he ever hit 30 in his career. Hit a lot of 20 and 25 though.
I remember back then, George, if you hit an opposite field home run, you were like, wow.
Check the bat. Well, an 80 to 100 RBIs was huge. You get a guy that knocked in 80 to 100, he was special.
That's a pitcher's era. Big ballparks. Two and one. This is playable. Johnny Herrera got a good jump. And Johnny will make the catch. Sure-handed Johnny Herrera in the inning. 3 runs on 3 hits for Cincinnati. Uphill climb for the Rockies, down 6-zip. We'll lead things off against Greg Reynolds. Tonight's sideline report brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat energizing superfood. You can add any dish that's healthy and delicious. And with that, here's Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, Drew. You know, if you grew up in Colorado, it's hard not to be a Todd Helton fan. We've been able to witness many of his wonderful moments, including hopefully very soon in the near future, hit number 2,500. I got a chance to talk to some fans today who have been waiting for that day.
We actually had tickets already, and I was actually hoping that he wouldn't hit it last night so we could see it tonight.
It'd be pretty nice. I was here last night for the 2 home runs and his strikeouts, so it'd be a good time.
I wanted to see Todd Helton hit 2,500 hits and do like he did last night. have an outstanding game.
We moved to Colorado in '98, and Todd is the only player remaining on the team since we started watching Rockies games in '98. So we're loving to see him hopefully make 2,500 tonight.
Well, he has definitely given Colorado some mile-high magic in his 17 seasons. Of course, the great debate, will this be the last season? You have to think back on big moments in franchise history as well, Drew and George, and it's hard not to think about the run to the World Series in 2007 and not get those images of Todd Helton's big home run to get him into the playoffs and even that big clutch catch to go to the World Series.
Absolutely. And we'll see Todd in a little while. Willeen Rosario had a base hit his first time up, hit that one sharply to Cozart, 1 out, and that'll bring up Nolan Arenado. Greg Reynolds in his last start against Milwaukee went 6 innings, allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, walked a couple, struck out a couple. He's not going to strike out many. In fact, tonight he has just 1. Arenado bounced into a 3-6-3 double play his first time. Chu in center field will make the catch. 2 outs.
Well, August is baseball season and back to school time, and the Rockies dugout stores everything for both. Stop by today. Call 303-832-TEAM for the store that's nearest you.
Charlie Blackmon lines single to left in the 3rd inning. Jordan Pacheco in the on-deck circle. At the bottom of the strike zone with a sinker at 88.
Hasn't repeated the location much. He hasn't moved the same pitch very much. Going to elevate the fastball on Charlie here up in the zone. Charlie going to swing at it.
Here's the 1-1. And another base hit for Blackmon. Man, is he swinging the bat well.
Well, just not trying to do too much.
Thanks for texting in your questions last half inning during Toyota Talk. For more answers, visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM. Tracer Inglesby will handle that. Oh, Trace's not here, huh?
Tracy's in Nebraska watching the Cowboys and the Cornhuskers. He's still, I'm sure he's following a little bit of this baseball game, and he'll be happy to answer a few more of those questions.
Rowdy had a date in Lincoln tonight. So Pacheco to hit for Wilton Lopez. One on Pacheco. Jordan grounded at second last night, pinch hitting in the 6th inning. And that is down the line, just foul, evidently.
Wow, pretty close. It looked awful close to me. I mean, I watched this ball right off the bat. It just must have hook fouled. It looked a whole lot different. That ball hit off Francis last night. Another beautiful sunset, beautiful night in Colorado. Great crowd here at the ballpark, too. Tremendous crowd.
Upstairs. And it's 3-2.
Reynolds, I don't think, repeated an area. We talked about this at the start of the inning. In this ball game, he's tried to elevate, got one swing out of it. The rest of the time they've taken it. That time a breaking ball in the dirt. A 3-2 count, 2 outs. Charlie will be off to the races. Challenge with the fastball with a 6-0 lead. Hopefully Pacheco stays back on and gets after it.
This ball driven right center field. It's going to touch down and roll. Around third is Blackman. He'll score easily on the double by Jordan Pacheco. And the Rockies are on the board.
Got to have production 1 through 8. The Rockies have had that in the bottom of the order tonight. Charlie with a couple of hits. Now Pacheco with the big double. Coming off the bench to drive in Charlie Blackman. Fastball, gut shot right down the middle. Pacheco inside out swing. Trying to take that ball to the opposite field, which he does a really nice job of. See it on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl. Charlie off with the pitch, scores easily.
Dickerson up there with 2 outs. Rob Scahill.
It's been a while since we've seen him in a ball game too. So I mean, Rob threw off the mound a little bit yesterday, and a little bit the day before. Relievers will do that to stay sharp.
Got jam. That's on the knuckles. Look out. I heard Reynolds. I'll go get it. Brandon Phillips saying, dude.
All right, you're 6'7", I'm 5'9". I'll give. Go ahead. It's all you.
Yeah, I've been playing for a long time in the big leagues. That's a first.
third inning. Brandon Phillips at the plate, and he drives one out to right center field over the outstretched glove of Michael Kadire, his 17th of the year. That made it 3-0. And then a ball call right there before Wilton Lopez, who just entered the game, had thrown a pitch. Bases were loaded. Fourth run came down. The very first pitch he threw was hit into left center by Ryan Ludwig. That drove in the 5th and 6th runs for Cincinnati. Cooney Lexus, where luxury has a new address, now open in Greenwood Village. Rob Scahill takes over for the Rockies, trailing 6-1 in the top of the 6th inning.
Well, the right-hander's going to make an appearance here and try to throw his 22nd inning. Hold things the way they are right now. An ERA of 3.86 so far for Rob Scahill. No record this year. Good fastball. He'll run it up to 95, 96 at times.
Zach Cozart intentionally walked his last time up. Punched out his first time, so Scahill ready to go. Mid-90s fastball. Now it's mid-90s, but just a bit outside. Shallow right, and here comes Michael Kadire. He makes the catch, 1 out. And that'll bring up Greg Reynolds, who's 0 for 2, but the story of Greg's night has been good pitching and good defense. Started a 1-6-3 double play. He finished off a double play at first base, and he just made a play on a pop-up, and he nearly ran over his all-star second baseman.
And that's not a good thing. That's what Drew's talking about right here. You got 6'7" running after 5'10", and he said, "Where were you? I had it the whole time." Phil's like, "That ain't funny. You're a big dude." Well, call me off of it if you want to catch it. Greg's trying to stay serious and focused, and Phillips can turn the switch off and on a little easier than Phillips can. Phillips pitching at Coors Field, where he had an 8 earned run average in his career in a Rocky uniform, leading this ball game 6-1 here in the top of the 6th.
He's behind 0-2 against Rob Scahill.
Well, Rob has had a difficult summer, and my thoughts were with him in the middle of the summer. It was an unfortunate and sudden situation where he lost his mother. Rob took time away as needed. He's come back to the mound and pitched well at Colorado Springs, rewarded with a call up here to Denver.
To left field, pretty well hit, and it's over the head of Dickerson. And Greg Reynolds, we were talking about that good swing, has his first hit in a Reds uniform. I'm trying to think, did he get a hit with the Rockies? Because they're asking for the baseball.
Well, maybe he did.
You know what? I don't think he must not have.
I'm going to look it up right now and just find out if he did. But career hitting will be in here.
Yeah, the way they're acting, that's hit number 1.
Maybe he just wants to see all the souvenirs on a good night against his former team. What do you think? Maybe.
Now Johnny Cueto's got the baseball.
Yeah, it's not going to have it in here. It's listed back in the minor league pages. It's not in where they have their full bio and stats on everybody.
Give me a minute.
All right, go to work. He did have a hit June 7th, 2008. And that was also a double.
For some reason he wanted that baseball.
Well, first hit in a red uniform, maybe. Or maybe the Reds don't know that he'd already gotten a hit. They asked for the baseball, and he's like, hey, I already got one.
That could be also.
Yeah.
0-2 on Chu. Safe to say that if he gets a hit here, he won't ask for the baseball. He's got a hit. Greg Reynolds will go to third. Actually, Reynolds has 4 other hits prior to the one tonight. Well, this is interesting now because Brandon Phillips is coming up. Brandon Phillips is a single away from the cycle, which has happened in Major League history about as frequently as no-hitters. That was the triple in the first inning that drove in a run, and the solo home run. And then he nearly had another home run. This was off the top of the left field wall for a double. Phillips sitting on 99 RBIs. It's first and third, 1 out.
Well, he's got 2 shots to get a single, basically. There's been a couple other guys in baseball. Brandon Barnes with the Houston Astros, Mike Trout with the Angels to have cycles this year. The last cycle in a Reds uniform was 1989, Eric Davis.
Brandon comes from a very athletic family. Grew up in Stone Mountain, Georgia. His parents met at Shaw University. Her dad was a football player and mom was a track athlete. Or excuse me, mom was a basketball player. And he has 2 brothers that played professional baseball. In fact, his younger brother is now playing independent baseball. And his sister was in the WNBA. She was a big star, first at LSU and then the University of Georgia. So every kid has got a paycheck to play their sport at some point in time.
Well, anytime you go down to LSU and that area playing basketball, you're pretty good.
Sister Portia, WNBA a couple of years ago. Here's the 1-1, and that's a strike. 1-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. Phillips is gone. Scahill with the strikeout of Brandon Phillips, and they're 2 gone with Votto at the plate.
A very good pitch by Scahill. Outer half of the plate, you're going to see the bat come forward. The hands did get well out in front of home plate. On the overhead, you can really see it. Phillips didn't like to have the call by Brian O'Nora, but it was, and it is, and you're out. Make a left turn.
Votto 0 for 3, couple punch outs. On base percentage for Votto of .434. Two and 0.
Up the middle, and a base hit for Votto. That'll drive in Greg Reynolds, and Chu will go first to third. And it's 7-1 Cincinnati for Joey Votto, his 63rd RBI of the year. Jay Bruce will come up. Two pretty good first basemen there visiting Votto and Helt.
Tell you what, Scalio's throwing awful hard and a lot of late movement too. Now I'm watching Rosario catch this baseball, and it's always hands jerking an awful lot right at the very end of the baseball. So it tells you it's late sink and cut.
Last pitch, 96 miles an hour. Good changeup.
Two strikes on Jay Bruce, first and third, 7-1 Cincinnati. 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the sixth, or excuse me, in the fifth, and 1 here in the sixth inning.
Right back to it again, and you know, when you go to the changeup back-to-back and then fastball at 97, you got to make sure on your counts that they're in a 1-2 situation. You got to locate that fastball instead of just rear back and get it. Scalio's been up to 99 miles an hour when he was in Tulsa a couple of years ago. Last pitch 97.
And he strikes out Bruce. In the inning, a run on 3 hits for Cincinnati, and the lead is 6. It's 7-1.
And Mizoraka was up at the plate, and the ball was hit into the hole. And Tulo's going to backhand this baseball and get a nice jump here, and then to pick over at first base. Todd Helton in this thing. Then back into the 4th inning is when this happened. Nice pick, nice throw, nice pick on the other side of it.
Coors Light Freeze Camp brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
So the Rockies need to get something going offensively in a big way against Greg Reynolds. The 6th inning, Johnny Herrera, Troy Tulowitzki, Michael Kadire. Rockies have 4 singles and a double against Reynolds. The double came from pinch hitter Jordan Pacheco. Drove in Charlie Blackmon last inning.
Well, you look up at the board now. I mean, the fastball's been 88, 89. You sit and look and see, okay, how many pitches? 66, 44 strikes, 22 balls. Basically, he's throwing strikes all night. And take my chances. You hit it, hit the ball if you want to. Just take your chances.
Very low pitch count.
And the double plays will shorten up a lot of innings for you. If Dusty coming into this game would have thought he'd got 6 innings and have a lead with Reynolds on the mound, he'd be tickled pink. Here he is with a 6-run lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. You know, Greg the other day in an interview with Tracy Ringlesby, you know, this is not a team out of contention. You're right smack in the middle of the pennant race, and you're getting a start in late August, early September. You're going to get another one after this, more than likely. He earned it. 12-3, 242 earned run average at Louisville for their AAA ball club.
That's just his 2nd strikeout of the night. A well-placed slider. Tulowitzki, ground ball to short and pop to first. Here's tonight's Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. Pitchers to give up the most hits to Todd Helton. We have to hang around a while. Livan Hernandez did that. 33 hits by Todd off Livan. Adam Eaton, the former Padre, among other teams, gave up 23. He was with the Rockies actually at one point. Greg Maddux, the future Hall of Famer, 20. Odalis Perez. And out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Brad Penny gave up 19 hits against Helton.
Recently married and retired and living in Kansas now.
Moved out of Broken Arrow, huh?
Yeah, he's long gone.
I don't like that because we always used to be able to...
Married to an Oklahoma City Thunder girl, actually. He bought a home outside of the Kansas City area. Still has one of his farms up in Iowa and one in Oklahoma. Which one are we going to go to?
You see which one you can get invited to. Here's the.
I just cut the fence and go in.
Is that right? Yeah. I'm sure they're big enough you wouldn't notice. 1-1 on Troy. Jammed Tulowitzki. He's had a lot of movement. And it's not just ground ball movement where he gets depth with the sinker. He's had run on it, and that ran in off the barrel to the part of the bat that doesn't allow you to really drive the ball with authority. So there's 2 outs, and that'll bring up Kadire. Michael has one of the 5 hits tonight for the Rockies.
Check out the new charitable campaign from the Rockies and Root Sports, Hit Count. From now till the end of the season, every Rockies hit means monetary donations to Children's Hospital Colorado and Special Olympics Colorado. Go to Rockies.com/hitcount to donate tonight.
Reds have 11 hits tonight. Rockies with just the 5 I mentioned after they produced 19 yesterday.
You know, I talk an awful lot to young pitchers about pace and rhythm. Controlling the pace of the game and having rhythm doing it. Reynolds has done that.
Stay out of the middle of the plate too. Hilton's on deck if Kadire can reach. See the pattern on the forward strike zone. Away, away, away.
Going back out again.
And Frazier fires to Votto. It's a 1-2-3 inning again for Greg Reynolds. He's had several of those tonight. We'll go to the 7th, all Cincinnati. Sports is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. By Dodge, visit Dodge.com or your local Dodge dealer today. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Cincinnati enjoying a 7-1 lead right now on a Saturday night in lower downtown Denver. The Rockies have won 3 of 4 meetings this year between the two clubs. Pirates have gone on to defeat St. Louis again at PNC Park 7-1. And that jammed up National League Central. It is interesting there. Padres have a 4th inning lead 1-0 on the Dodgers. Arizona leading San Francisco 3-2 in Phoenix in the 7th. Ryan Ludwig at the plate. He's 3 for 3 tonight, 3 singles. He's got a couple of RBIs. Well, he helps lengthen this lineup out for Dusty Baker. You go Chu, Phillips, Votto, Bruce, and if Ludwig gets going, that's pretty good first 5.
Yeah, you're good.
Dusty's always been a player's manager. Oh, you know who's in town tonight? He came in late last night. Darren Baker. Everybody knows Darren Baker is a baseball fan around the country.
He was a little smaller at times when they saw him before.
You know, we were talking, Dusty and I were talking about that yesterday. It's funny thing, everybody thinks, you know, Darren's still that little guy that JT Snow scooped up and got him out of trouble many years ago, but he's a 15-year-old good baseball player, good basketball player. He's in town seeing Dad. Dusty continues to make his off-season home in Northern California. This is popped up. Left side, Tulowitzki and Arenado. It's Nolan. With Frazier retired. What's next is brought to you by CenturyLink. Here's the Sunday pitching matchup. Mike Leake will be on the mound for Cincinnati, and Tyler Chatwood, after missing a month, looking forward to his return tomorrow. Boy, he's having a really good year. Breakout season for Chatwood, 7-4. But you look inside the numbers, Tyler's been difficult to hit. Tyler will finish out the season as he should in the Rockies rotation. Devin Mesoraco is 0 for 3 tonight. He's caught a little bit more than Hannigan has this year. But it's not your traditional, 5.5 days a week, 1.5 day a week
Remember,
split.
Hannigan got hurt too, and Corky Miller came up, and Miller got hurt.
Right.
So, I mean, with the injury, he didn't get to play as much. Mesoraco came up and hit the long ball, caught pretty good, and then when Hannigan came back, it really handles the staff well.
2-0. And this is all Nolan Arenado this inning. Good job by Scahill. Helton will lead it off when we return.
He has another chance to go 3-run tank right here for his 2,500. So we looked at each other and said, "You got to be kidding me." I was hitting him on the back saying, "He's going to do it, he's going to do it." It didn't work out, but we were fired up, and it was kind of funny. We forgot we were in the bullpen as a job, and it was more like we were rooting for him, just fired up, and we applauded on the strikeout also. So what a moment.
And there they are, checking it out. From the bullpen once again is Todd Helton, a walk to the plate. A hit shy of 2,500 in his marvelous career. Helton tonight 0 for 2. Greg Reynolds still out there. He has hit a deep drive to left center that was caught by Shin-Soo Choo and struck out against Reynolds. Getting a feel for Greg Reynolds' arsenal. See if it pays off here in this third at bat. Sinker in the dirt. It's 1-1.
Well, that cutter
pretty good, isn't it?
Been really good for him against lefties tonight. Went in there again with the cutter. It's become the pitch that has really evolved the last 10 years in baseball. It seems like everybody throws one now.
And why is that? How about Mariano Rivera?
Yeah, but now, Mariano did it for a long time, but now a lot of starters use it. And Reynolds goes in there with a cutter again, and he strikes out Todd for the second time. Run on 5 hits with 1 out in the 7th inning against the former #2 pick in the draft, the highest pick the Rockies ever had in a draft. Their next highest was this past June when they selected 3rd, and they got Jonathan Gray out of the University of Oklahoma. Orlin Rosario a single and a hard-won hopper to short. Mesoraco not going to have a play.
Take a behind-the-scenes tour of Coors Field. Group and individual tickets, they're available year-round by calling 303 Rockies.
Doing a little just messing around, George, earlier tonight, looking at some guys that are in the Hall of Fame and comparing their numbers and their home road splits most specifically to Todd's, because the biggest criticism of people who don't live in Denver's against Helton's candidacy for the Hall of Fame is that the home and road splits are too large. Todd in his career is at 346 at home, 288 on the road. That's an enormous split. It's 58 points. Understandable that people would say that. He's hit 224 home runs at home, 141 on the road. 61% then of his home runs have come at home. I looked at Ryne Sandberg, who played in a very hitter-friendly park at Wrigley Field, particularly in the summer months. Ryne Sandberg hit 300 at Wrigley. He hit 269 out on the road. Now, 269 is not a Hall of Fame average. 300 is. He had 164 home runs at Wrigley, 118 out on the road. So 58%, that's a strikeout, 58% of his home runs were at home. Pretty close to 61% for Todd. Now, some will say that Sandberg is different because Sandberg played second base. He was a power hitting second baseman, which is an unusual commodity, particularly in the time frame that he played.
Teammate of mine, Todd, I've watched for 16 years. To me, they're both Hall of Famers. Obviously, Sandberg's in, and I think Todd's a Hall of Famer. And they can do all the comparisons they want. You can go through and look at a lot of Hall of Famers. They didn't hit 288 on the road.
And that was my other point, George. You're right. I mean, you shouldn't have to apologize for hitting about 290 out on the road over 16 years.
He didn't choose this park. The park chose him. Still got to swing the bat in. Right. Still got to be a good player in it.
Yeah, you cannot take away because he's taken advantage of a good hitter's park. There are a number of guys who've done that. Two strikes on Arenado.
Yeah, not only having Reynolds have a good start on the mound tonight, he's at 92 pitches, more than likely done after this. When you have a starter only go 3 1/3, and you got to use a lot of your bullpen last night. This is kind of what the doctor ordered for Dusty. Give me some length to the start.
Well, he just struck out the side. He had not been accumulating many strikeouts. 2 coming in the 7th inning, and then he struck out Held, Rosario, and Arenado in his second succession. 7-1 Cincinnati. With his 3rd inning upcoming of work in relief of Juan Nicasio and briefly Wilton Lopez. Rockies fans join Root Sports and the Rockies today in their new initiative, Hit Count. Support the Children's Hospital and Special Olympics Colorado by backing your favorite player. Your donations determined by the number of hits in the second half of the season. For more information and to back your favorite Rocky, visit Rockies.com/hitcount. How many hits for the Rockies this evening? A run on 5 knocks against Greg Reynolds. 7 runs, 11 hits for Cincinnati. Zach Cozart will lead things off in the 8th inning. Greg Reynolds had a 1-2-3 inning with 3 punch outs, and in the last inning Rob Scahill had a 1-2-3 inning. This is a base hit for Cozart leading off the 8th. Well, Reynolds is coming up right now, so can't take that as a surefire sign that he'll pitch the 8th inning, because Dusty may just want him to bunt here. But he may allow him to keep going. Hilton got the tag on Reynolds. Shin-Soo Choo will come up. Reynolds been collecting high fives all night.
No kidding there. I mean, what a welcome sight to that ball club when they lost. Cinegrini they lost, the left-hander with back spasms. Went on the disabled list. Greg got that extra shot to come back up here and start again.
Good block.
Greg Reynolds has 5 career wins. They've all come in a Rockies uniform. And he's enjoying, without question, his finest night in the big leagues at the expense of the Rockies. Went 2-8 in 2008 with Colorado, an 8.13 ERA. He went 3-0 in 2011, but with a 6.19 ERA. Most of those efforts were out of the pen. He made only 3 starts that year. Ball is hit well to left field, and Dickerson can't make the catch. Going to need help from Blackman. It is a run-scoring double for Chu as Cozart comes home. 8-1 Cincinnati. That's the 3rd hit of the night for Shin-Soo Chu.
And most of the time for Scahill at the AAA level, it's been 2 innings and done. Now looking at going to 3rd inning, trying to complete it right now. There's nobody up out in the bullpen for the Rockies. Dickerson looked like he got under this ball here and didn't really recognize where he was because he leaped early for the catch of the baseball. And it's well beyond the glove. He continues to run, then jump 1 more step. Probably is going to catch the baseball. Mike Shaw Supermo giving it a good look in the outfield.
Now Brandon Phillips, a single shy of a cycle, is at the plate. He's got triple homer, double tonight, and a strikeout.
Well, he could accomplish a lot with a single. The run scores, that's his 100th RBI, and he gets the cycle.
And it's sharply hit, but right at Arenado. Chu crossed over, and that'll bring up Votto. Votto had a base hit to drive in a run in the 6th inning. Who wants tacos, fans? If you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more for the Rockies Taco Special, as they did last night, text the keyword taco to 720-720. And when that happens, Taco Bell and Root Sports will donate $250 to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. Votto's driven in 2 tonight. He had a fielder's choice ground out that drove in a run in the 1st. Reds have scored in 5 of their 8 at bats tonight.
Jeff Manship now starting to throw down in the Rockies bullpen. He was supposed to start on Friday night. It was skipped over for De La Rosa. So the right-hander getting loose here, and more than likely, if he does have to come into this ball game for Scahill with 39 pitches thrown by Rob, they'll do a double switch.
Two and two on Votto. Third time for second time in Votto's career, he's walked more than 100 times. He's just the third Red who's ever had multiple 100 walk seasons. And he works the count full there. Joe Morgan did it 6 times. And you know who did it 5 times, George?
Yeah, I'm thinking on the team probably out of that Big Red era. So
it wasn't. It was recent.
Barry Larkin?
No, it's far more recent than Barry Larkin. It's going to surprise you a little bit, but when you think about it, you're going to go, you know what? Yeah. Well, it's on the ground to second. I think strikeouts and walks.
Who you thinking?
Adam Dunn. Wow. 5 times. Yep. Walk more than 100 times. He does one of 3 things. He gets a home run, he walks, or he punches out.
Exactly.
That's about it. 8-1 Cincy. What you need is just the right price with many of your McDonald's favorites starting at just $1. I'm loving it. Well, in the 3rd inning, Brandon Phillips hit one to right center field into the Rockies bullpen, his 17th home run of the year. In the 5th inning, Cincinnati would get a freebie. Bases loaded, a balk by Wilton Lopez. He started and stopped. So there were runners at second and third, and Ryan Ludwig would line a single to left center field. That would bring home a couple of runs. Rockies got their only run on this pinch hit double by Jordan Pacheco. Charlie Blackmon had singled previously. He would score on the double by Jordan. That's it for the Rockies. Here's Charlie Blackmon again. He's 2 for 2 tonight. If Pacheco's double, Charlie's 2 singles, a Willeen Rosario 2nd inning single, and a Michael Kadire 2nd inning single. And right now, this is uncharted territory for Greg Reynolds. He has never pitched in the 8th inning that he started in a big league game. High fly ball deep right center field, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. And Jay Bruce makes the catch. Greg Reynolds, 2 best starts in the big leagues, probably his 2nd start ever back in 2008. He beat the Minnesota Twins. He went 6 innings and did not allow a run, just 3 hits. And then on June 22nd of 2008, he beat the Mets, giving up 3 runs over 7 innings. That's the longest he had gone prior to tonight. The Mets had the 3 runs on 6 hits that evening. So this has been the best that Greg Reynolds has pitched as a starter in the big leagues. That's a base hit for Culberson, pinch hitting. The pinch hitters have been good.
Boy, Reynolds able to snag one early and turn a double play ball. This one he wasn't going to snag. He almost got his shin took off.
getting a little left-right action going down in their bullpen right now.
Manny Parr is on the left side. Sam LeCure is the righty. Corey Dickerson at the plate. Corey's 0 for 3. Ground ball to second. He hit into that 1-6-3 double play George was talking about, and then he's the one who hit the little pop-up that
Reynolds went back on. Or he went back on to go get. Well, kind of went back on.
He's trying to help out his all-star second baseman Brandon Phillips, who got a big kick out of it. You were talking about how Brandon's, laughing about it after. You need a guy. First of all, it's great when you have a guy with Brandon's talent. First of all, but second of all, he keeps things loose.
Well, he's the captain. He handles the ball club. They're going to go back in with that elevated fastball again.
Dickerson turned on it. Bad idea. That's long gone into the night. Second deck shot. Corey Dickerson with his third big league home run. And it's 8-3. The hit flew and the bat head followed.
Yeah, Dusty looking over. You want to know if everybody's ready down in the bullpen, meaning Carl and LeCure, and then he's got off his bench. He's starting to walk that way around, asking questions of Brian Price. He got that fastball. Reynolds knew it too. As soon as he let go of it, he didn't get it in deep enough. The other one before got on the hands. He got the soft pop up. Well, not this time. He was sitting waiting on it, and he handled it. Handled it to about 390.
It was a cutter that didn't cut enough.
There you go. Don't try to come back in there again, fellas. He knew it. Everybody in the ballpark knew it. Yeah, the good part of that home run, the base hit by Culberson. Guess what, folks? If Todd Helton doesn't hit in this inning, he will tonight.
One and one on Johnny. 0 for 3 tonight. And that is a foul ball. Corey hit that a long way.
In a hurry, too. Take a look at it on the one of the cameras hanging on the back screen. You can see it went a long way. About 8 rows into that second deck.
It's pitch number 102 for Greg Reynolds. And Johnny calls time.
A few times there's been any kind of indecision on Greg with his catcher, as Rocco, as far as what he was going to throw. Fastball in.
Ludwig in left. 2 outs. Here's Tulowitzki. Rob Scahill worked 3 innings, gave up a couple runs on 5 hits. A couple of strikeouts, no walks. Off the plate. Ball deep right center field, but it's going to end up in the glove of Jay Bruce right in front of the wall. In the inning, a 2-run home run from Corey Dickerson. And it's 8-3 Cincinnati as we move to the 9th inning at Coors Field. Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. At Coors Field, the Cincinnati Reds 8 and the Colorado Rockies 3. Top of the ninth inning, and here's Jenny.
Hey, Drew, coming up on the Toyota postgame show, Jeff Houston's going to join me. We're going to talk about fill in the blank. Brandon Phillips, how about a home run, a triple, and a double tonight? A single shy of the cycle for him, and it does look like he's going to get another chance. Then we'll talk about the Reynolds rap. Greg Reynolds, the former Colorado Rocky, came back, and, well, he crushed his old teammates today with the way he pitched. 5 strikeouts for him through 8 innings so far, 2 of those against Todd Helton, who is still in search of hit 2,500. We'll, of course, get you inside the clubhouse. It's all coming up right after baseball on the Toyota postgame show, guys.
Jenny, thank you. Charlie Culberson stays in the ball game. Charlie's at second base for Johnny Herrera. And on the pitcher's mound is Jeff Manship. And the first 4 games have been starts for Jeff, so he's working out of the pen tonight.
Yeah, and he had one blow up, but he's pitched pretty decent. A couple of runs in one of those starts. The start he had in New York, what an exciting night he had on a red eye. All to get up 5 and show up at the ballpark. Get an opportunity to show the Rockies what he can do out of the bullpen, the former Twin.
And Manship with a strike on Jay Bruce. Bruce 1 for 3 and a walk tonight. He scored a run. Nice pitch. Job by Manship, 1 out. Next up for the Reds will be Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig 3 singles in his first 3 at bats. He grounded to third his last time up, 3 for 4.
Unless they're just waiting for there to be 2 outs, when Parra and LaCour are both warming up, they're not. Nobody's warming up down the visitors' bullpen right now. It appears maybe Reynolds might get to go out for the 9th.
One and one. Outside, 2-2. Good pitch. Depth on that breaking ball. 2 outs.
Slider at 83 miles an hour, so really making sure you stay on top of it with his delivery. Keeping it in the proper place, but working ahead in the count gets you those swings and misses on sliders like this. Good slider for Manship. Well out on top of the baseball and just under the bat of Ludwig.
Pulled foul. Right center field, and the catch is made by Blackman. So Frazier retired. Rockies trail by 5 as we go to the 9th inning. Todd Helton will get another AB. gone to their bullpen. Sam LeCure will pitch the 9th inning for Dusty Baker. 53 games. He's one of his late inning guys that he trusts with a lead.
Right, he's a sinker baller that throws strikes. Earned run average at 2.98, holes at 18, it appears. And you know, this guy's pretty good. LeCure is on the mound. Heisey's in left field for the defensive side of things. And the double switch by Dusty Baker. Michael Cuddyer will lead it off, and it's Todd Helton in his career versus LeCure. 1-for-1, that one hit, a home run.
Ball one on Michael.
Slow hook fastball, 88, 91, 92. A little above that occasionally, but a lot of movement. And a big heart, not afraid to challenge anybody.
Two and one on Cuddyer. Tyler Chatwood returns to the mound tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Mike Leake will go for Cincinnati. Curveball missed, and it's 3-1.
And that will drive you crazy as a manager because you got a 5-run lead. Don't work yourself into the leadoff walk, and then all of a sudden you get a home run or something. It's 8-5. Pound the zone. We can beat you. Pretty good pitch right there at 90. Running fastball down in the zone. Chapman's warming up down in the Reds bullpen just in case this game does happen to get close again.
Soft toss and lefty. 3-2.
Pitch normally. No, you don't see Cuddyer chase something like that up in the zone.
And here comes help. For 3 tonight, 2 punch outs. Pretty good whack there. Slightly shaded toward left center. The outfield fairly deep. Infielders in the middle back on the grass. Helton chased. Big curveball, and it's 1-2.
Last couple of swings have seemed to be very anxious on Todd's part. You want to get that 2,500 so bad. And they've made really nasty pitches on top of those. Covers that Reynolds threw are filthy.
One, two. And for the third time tonight, Helton's a strikeout victim. Whether he's 40 or not, that does not happen frequently.
Not at all. Chased the pitch well out of the zone.
2 outs in the 9th inning. Willeen Rosario 1 for 3 tonight.
Outside corner, but a little bit off, evidently. Two 2-0 on Willeen. Two balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3, and that's the ball game. Sam LeCure comes in. He strikes out the side in the 9th inning. There's one of the hitting stars tonight for Cincinnati, Brandon Phillips. He had a double, triple, and a home run this evening as the Rockies fall 8-3 to Cincinnati to even up this 3-game set. They'll play a rubber game tomorrow right here on Root Sports. Tonight's Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. And the former Rocky, second pick in the 06 draft, Greg Reynolds, in just his 3rd start in a Cincinnati Reds uniform, the best start of his career. 8 innings. He'd never been that deep in a baseball game at the big league level. He allowed 3 runs on 7 hits, did not walk anybody. In fact, didn't come close to walking anybody. And he struck out 5, and he made a couple good defensive plays as well. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. The Toyota postgame show is next. Cincinnati wins it 8-3. We'll go to